Hey guys, it's Colonel Coffee here from 221B Gaming, and welcome to part one of a Share Your Deductions E3 Q&A special. Aaron Levi and I have thought up 7 E3 related questions to ask each other in a one-off interview. We have no idea what the questions are, so this should be pretty interesting. Aaron's here with me just now.
What's going on?
In the background, we are going to be playing some Forza Horizon 2. This is just a quick road trip. So let's get straight into this with question 1. Are you ready?
Hit me. I am.
Okay, question 1. During the Ubisoft conference, a special announcement was made about a game sequel we were sure we wouldn't be coming. Tell me, do you plan on getting the Fractured Butthole?
I do actually. I played the Stick of Truth with a buddy of mine on his PS3 and was extremely impressed, even after all the delays. But yeah, no, it looks great. I like the way they've shifted from kind of, you know what I mean, Lord of the Rings, RPG, kind of that fantasy world, straight into more, you know, Avengers and that type of thing. And I mean, you know what I mean, who doesn't love the Coon?
Yeah, of course.
Plus, it's the greatest game title in history. I'm sorry, but it's unbelievable.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, no, Matt and Trey, I'm glad that they, after saying they'd never make another video game, I'm glad they're going back to it. I mean, this one is less work, obviously, because they already have the map built and stuff, the actual area of South Park, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, no, that's on the list, you know.
Yeah. And quickly, would you recommend it?
Would I recommend purchasing
the first one and going for the second one?
Yeah, I think maybe the customization and the battle systems weren't in depth enough in the first one, but as hilarity goes, it's probably the funniest game I've ever played. So big time. I'm sure you can pick it up quite cheap at the minute. And awesome. The second one, I don't see why you wouldn't pre-order if you're a South Park fan, and even if you're not, if you like vulgar humor, go for it.
Okay. So, question 2. There were many betas announced at E3. Which are you most excited to play, and did you play the Gears of War beta?
I had a couple of games, just to answer the Gears of War question first. A couple of games of the Gears of War beta. I'm sure you've played more than me since you're super fan number 1.
I did.
I never really played Gears of War 1 on my own console, believe it or not. Didn't own a console I owned a PS2, but didn't own now last gen console when Gears of War came out. So for me it's good, it's a learning curve. I never really got into the Gears of War online anyway. Multiplayer is more recent than that for me. I say recent, probably 6 years on the run now. Beta wise, what was announced at E3, I mean there's a lot of exciting ones. Black Ops, obviously, we're going to be getting into that, we're going to be mashing that up, but the one that I am looking most forward to is The Division. Is it Dark Zone? I don't want to get this wrong. Is it
Dark? I think so. Yeah, that
Black
looks
Zone.
Pretty sick.
That like honestly, and I know people are saying it was tense and everything, but I mean even watching it, my heart was in my mouth. You know what I mean? The amount of scenarios running through my head of, you know, betrayal. Whereas when you have things like in Destiny, obviously everyone's going towards the same goal. It's multiple loot streams and everything, and you know what I mean, that's always nice. But this new idea of screwing each other, you know what I mean, is so exciting and panicky that I really want to get my hands on it.
Yeah. Okay, good answer. Question 3.
Thank you.
Every year at E3, we are hit with multiple exclusive announcements across all platforms, and I'm talking exclusive games, exclusive DLC, or limited time only DLC. What are your thoughts on the exclusivity of these games and DLCs?
As a consumer, I understand why the companies do it. Obviously, it drives console sales. But I've never been interested in it. Not that I've never been interested in it, obviously I've been interested in many exclusives on many platforms. But I'd like if we championed everyone's right to play whatever they want to play on whatever system they want to play it on. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think initial decisions, I mean, obviously we've got fanboys, you know what I mean? people who are very, very, very passionate about their particular brand of gaming, and that's fine. I've nothing against that. But I just think limiting games like that for the industry as a whole it's detrimental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I talked earlier after watching the Sony conference, because again, don't own a PS4, about Uncharted, and I know it's not even coming out this year or whatever, but it just looks epic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd like to get my hands on it. Maybe I'll get a PS4 next year, but exclusives, DLC exclusives, I just think it detracts from gaming for me as an experience. I wish everyone could have their hands on everything.
Yeah, I agree.
It's especially kind of sad as well. The younger generation, like obviously, well, maybe, I don't know, are the younger generation spoiled these days? Moving from one console to the next, maybe their parents don't fully understand the idea of, you know, game exclusives, and they're going to miss out on some of their favourite games, obviously, of whatever platform they had beforehand. So
yeah, fair enough.
Big middle finger to that idea. That's the answer there.
Look. So, question 4. During several of the E3 shows, there were some mentions of new accessories. For example, the Xbox One Elite controller, and both the HoloLens and Project Morpheus in the virtual reality side of things. What are your thoughts on those features, and are you thinking about purchasing them?
I have to say, HoloLens blew me away.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen much of VR. I haven't looked into it much. Maybe, you know, last year I would have thought, oh, it's a bit gimmicky, and what's the pricing going to be, and who's actually going to develop for it. It seems to be forefront in a lot of the companies' minds. New experiences always are, I suppose. Still not really looking into or seeing much of VR. I mean, between Valve and Oculus and Project Morpheus, I don't really have an opinion on it yet. I can't fully form an opinion until, I suppose, I've at least got my hands on some type of real life demo.
Yeah.
The way they demoed HoloLens on the Microsoft stage was epic, and that's why it really got me excited, and like looking at it, if that's how it plays and if the pricing is right, definitely something I'd be interested in. I like the idea of mixed reality, I think, more than virtual reality, as virtual reality just looks like it might be a bit of a migraine attack.
Yeah.
The Elite controller, the price point isn't my favourite thing in the world, but
no, it's
the thing
expensive.
But it really is a thing of beauty, just looking at how it works and everything else. Don't know if I consider myself an Elite Pro gamer, but I would like to get my hands on it. I mean, if someone wants to buy me one, I'll give you my email address. But yeah, no, I mean, peripherals and as a whole, you know, exciting as long as they work. Obviously, Microsoft left out Kinect this year, which is kind of disheartening, but I mean, that's going to come into play when we get Windows 10 across Xbox and Cortana and stuff. And I mean, I love my Kinect. I know in general the Kinect was seen as a fumble from Microsoft, but I honestly don't regret owning Kinect one bit. So I'd have to say with new peripherals, as long as they actually work for you, instead of, like, you know what I mean, working for the company that way, big time. And the Xbox Elite controller is definitely on my list. Whether or not I will find that wad in my pocket to pay for it straight away, we'll see.
Right. Okay. So on to question 5. At the Microsoft conference, Phil Spencer announced backwards compatibility for the Xbox One to be able to play your 360 games on the next-gen console. How did you react when he made this announcement, and how do you rate it?
I wasn't expecting it, like, at all. And when, you know what I mean, when Microsoft were talking about their games lineup, I didn't think, oh, you know what I mean, they mean they're bringing my already massive library of games back to me in that sort of way. And like, I never thought I'd move away from, like, I always said when I got the Xbox One, oh, of course I'm going to keep playing the 360, but I haven't much, you know. And like, that's what excited me most. I was thinking, oh, all the games with gold, oh, there's games. I mean, Assassin's Creed Rogue, I haven't opened the plastic on that game. and I really want to. I just haven't yet, you know.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, yeah, I reacted like a child. It's fantastic when you think about it. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not groundbreaking in a way. I mean, we've always been asking for it, and the emulator way seems to be a great way of going about it. So for me, it's a great concept. And yeah, I was quite excited when they announced it.
Yeah. The ability to record and screenshot on older games is quite good too.
Yeah, the integration seems excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so question 6. Following up from the previous question, and back to kind of what we just talked about, with the backwards compatibility feature, what games are you excited to go back and play?
Games in particular, reiterating, I suppose, games of gold, like Just Cause 2 and stuff. I've played the game on different systems, but I haven't played on my own 360, so I'm looking forward to. I mean, again, developer provided, we know how that works now. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to playing most of the games with gold. I think quite a few of the games with gold on the 360 are stellar, and I haven't played a lot of them. There are certain back burner games as well, like Rogue and a few others that are achievement mop-up that I would just prefer to have, you know, on the one, because that's now my primary console focus anyway.
Yeah.
I literally was on holiday in Edinburgh. I bought a few games from Game, and they're old enough games, but still haven't had a chance to go back to them. Too many new games coming out, too many things to be doing, you know.
Yeah.
So mostly, I'm looking forward to playing the games that I haven't played. Replay value is always there for some games I do. Call of Duty, you know, different things. But it's the games that I have and I currently have in my possession that I've never played. That's what I'm looking forward to most.
Right. Should be good. So on to the 7th and final question. It's pretty basic. Across all shows at this year's E3, every conference, there were many new games announced, new IPs, new features and accessories. What kind of took you by surprise and got you hyped the most? What are you looking forward to the most?
Do you know the answer to this before me answering it? Two things, both relating to the exact same thing. The Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition just blew my geeky socks off. I will honestly wear that Pip-Boy to work. They can't do anything. It's a watch. And just seeing Fallout 4, I know certain people were like, oh, the graphics and everything else. First of all, that's never bothered me. The breadth of features they announced for Fallout 4 at Bethesda, the customization, the size of the world and all, everything.
Yeah.
Just, I was shouting at the screen. So for me, like that was my biggest E3 explosion this year. There was a few other things that were a surprise, like even at the Ubisoft conference, For Honor.
For Honor, yeah. That looked badass, yeah.
For a new IP, and it was presented by a wizard. That was a pimp cane if I've ever seen one. That was just one new IP, because new IPs are generally not necessarily underwhelming, but you don't know how to feel about them. They don't get that much time. It's just like, you know what I mean, that the type of battle arena, but melee battle arena. That's a great idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was. I mean, we could stay here all night. But for me, it was always going to be Fallout. Obviously, I knew it was coming. It wasn't going to be a surprise to me. But what they showed in regards to Fallout, it couldn't have asked for more. The release date is this year, for fuck's sake. So yeah, Fallout 4 hype. Woo!
Awesome. So that concludes our part 1 interview, and we thank you guys for joining us, and you can join us in part 2 where Aaron gets to torture me.
I will torture him. The questions are all on applied mathematics at E3. So thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.